Hey legends, and welcome back to the Sim Racing channel where, as usual, we're casually late to the party. The talk of the town in Sim Racing land over the last day or two has been the announcement and trailer for Project Cars 3. I like to pretend that I have my finger somewhat on the pulse of what our community is about and the sort of people that may be subscribed and following this content. Consequently, I'm going to be very earnest with you because I believe most of us are going to be in the same boat with this one. Project Cars 3, by all accounts I can find, is not a game developed for people like us. The pre-rendered trailer footage, which is often used to showcase the strength of a simulation engine, is instead simply trying to appeal to the standard car action tropes most people associate with Need for Speed or the Fast and Furious. The physics on display look more arcade-like than even Project Cars 2. This makes sense as they appear to be gearing toward road cars in order to create a greater point of connection to the average consumer, trading on the prestige of racing versus the art form itself. Think of the middle-aged stockbroker who thinks getting a 911 and redlining it in first gear, covering all of 5 meters in peak LA traffic will recapture the youth he lost doing a job that he hates. While realistically they'd be aiming for a more youthful market for this game, it's obvious that what's being traded on in this trailer is the more consumerist side of prestige cars, rather than celebrating racing itself. One of my, and I'm guessing your hopes, was that Slightly Mad Studios would double back after the experience of launching Project Cars 2, reflect on what they had learned and consolidate their approach to include less content, albeit curated for much higher consistency on a per car and track basis, then reflect that with Project Cars 3. Instead, it would appear that their absorption by Codemasters came with a complimentary lobotomy for their game, stripping back any hope the Madness engine had of flexing its muscles. We now have 2 games being developed on the Madness engine, one attempting to be a full simulator while the other seemingly simulated gravity, took a smoke break, came back, just said, she'll be right, and threw in a bunch of customizable wheel rims and drum and bass to make up the difference. While we've been cautiously optimistic about Automobilista 2 being developed on the Madness engine, it casts a bit of shade that its own developer doesn't have enough confidence to create an actual simulator on it. By the way, check out this mad Corvette overtake. Geez, really makes you wonder which continent this trailer was aimed for. Not hating, as I fully intended to buy a C8 assuming the dysfunction in the world ever came to a halt, but this kind of thing is just treating the audience with disrespect. Also, check out this sick damage model. BeamNG, eat your heart out, you've got some astrophysicists hot on your heels. Whenever you see a trailer treating its audience like brain-dead mongoloids, you can essentially infer there's been a shift in the marketing department towards scraping the admittedly profitable bottom of the barrel. Looking at this article, we can read, Project Cars 3 is trying to be the racing sim that will appeal to everyone. Project Cars 3 is doing everything it can to make you really want to play it. We had a concern that simulators and racing sims were kind of seen as fairly po-faced and fairly technical and fairly dry and not welcoming. A little bit elitist maybe, says Pete Morrish, production director on Project Cars 3. Codemasters is definitely the right name because all of these sentences are actually code. When you translate them, they read, "We have absolutely no interest in appealing to racing sim fans because we can make way more money creating a fraction of the game and selling it to Joe Average to play for 15 minutes a night on his couch." This brings out some deja vu because we saw something very similar happen recently with Dirt 4. Hot on the heels of the niche, surprise success of Dirt Rally, Codemasters, in their usual fashion, thought, hey, this is great. What would happen if we completely disrespect our core audience and instead try to make more money by making a worse game for everyone? That worked out wonderfully for them, as I'm sure you can imagine. Now that Slightly Mad Studios are intent on disrespecting the same audience which gave their games a platform, I'm beyond excited to see how that turns out for them. Make sure to smash that sub to stay up to date with all upcoming news on this masterpiece in waiting, as well as other assorted sim racing content. Until next time, we'll see you later.